copper stopped right in front of me. It's been a while. It's been a while. I hope you guys are doing well. It is weird weather here in Idaho, so I want to show you guys some things outside today. So I best start out here first because every 5 minutes it changes. I saw Miss Rhonda on here and she can attest to that because her weather keeps changing too. Let me see here. We got Miss Laura on here. She's listening from the garden, setting up a 4-foot by 40-foot garden bed, and it is kicking her butt. So that's all right. You're gonna kick its butt back. At least it is beautiful day, sunshine, and 67 degrees. From the garden, setting up a 4-foot by 40-foot garden bed, and it is kicking her butt. So that's all right. You're gonna kick its butt back. At least it is beautiful day, sunshine, and 60. Here we go. That was weird. It was like replaying myself. I don't know what that was all about. Can you guys hear me okay? That was strange. I did a video last week and I shared with you guys our little makeshift greenhouse, but I wanted to share the inside of this a little more just so that you guys can see. I mean, it is makeshift. It is nothing fancy. And you don't have to go fancy. You don't even have to use nice wood. Many of you I know are using refurbished things. Miss Shelley just sent a message to me this morning that she was blessed with a frame. I forget what she said it was for, but it didn't have canvas on it anymore and she put plastic on it. Okay, good, Tammy. It was like repeating. That was really strange. I don't know what that was all about. But let me show you this. I want to share this with you so you can see that you can do this stuff. You can do this stuff. So bear with me because I am actually having to like go in here a little bit and I'm going to flip the camera. Bear with me. I do not have a cameraman. So there you can see. This is rough cut lumber. There's a gnarly piece of wood from a piece of tree just to help support this winter. I mean, this was thrown together with scrap wood and it served its purpose. So you can do this stuff, guys. This does not take a rocket scientist. This does not take a craftsman. And yeah, you can do really nice things and that's good too. And that's important as well. But we need to survive right now. We need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So this is what you can do. See, this is attached again to a pallet and I'm using grow bags. I am using grow bags because my soil here is terrible and we have not been able to get it. There's only so many hours in a day. We're all in the same boat, right? We are all in the same boat. You always have plenty of hours when you don't have the money, and when you have the money, you don't have the time. That's how it goes. So I wanted to jump on today. It's been really heavy on my heart. You know, I've missed you guys tremendously. You guys feed my soul as well when we gather. I'm just gonna share something with you here and be brutally honest with you. That is what my yard looks like. It's like knee deep, guys. I can't keep up. The reason I can't keep up is because it gets really beautiful and sunny, and then the next thing you know, it is dumping. And then it's dumping and it's gray and it's ugly, and then it's sunny, and then it's sunny and it's raining. Oh, and wait, then it snows. And this is all in the same day. So it's just causing the grass to grow profusely, and I am unable to keep up. However, I will share with you what I'm doing today and what I've got going on and what I am making happen here, because we need to be making things happen right now. And that's why I'm on here today, because that's what's been heavy on my heart, is that we need to make things happen, but we also need to keep our minds right and keep ourselves fit. This is all stuff I've been sharing all these years, but I wanted to get on here and just remind everybody. So let me show you what I got going on here. Miss Jane was kind enough to share her trough with me. Her trough has holes in the front, so it actually has been working out wonderfully with the rain that we've been getting. Hi, Bridger. Miss Tammy just said that Bridger says hello. Wanted to pop on and make sure I'm saying hello to these youngins because they're the ones that are following behind. He joins me in the kids' corner on Fridays. So I've got my 3 grow bags in here. They are naturally being watered, which is amazing. The Mountain Man wired up some cattle panels, old wire floating around, and I'm gonna plastic it. And I'm gonna get some things growing in there, back in the greenhouse, and I'm starting a lot of seeds. We can't really plant anything here in North Idaho for a while. In my neck of the woods, we are in a belt, and I get cold weather still till June, July sometimes. So, you know, I've got to improvise. I've got to make things happen the best I can in my circumstances. And that's what you guys need to be doing also. So I want to share a couple other things with you guys. Let me see, where do I have some out here? Well, I'll just start over here. I want to show you some of the things I've got going on here in my own yard. Before I bale my yard, I'm going to be foraging some things. I'm also going to be pulling some things out. Let me get down in here because I want to share with you guys. You guys have all these things accessible to you too. And if not exactly what I'm going to share with you, you've got other things. Okay, so we've got dandelion nestled down in here. Dandelion is an amazing edible, an amazing plant. You can eat the flowers, the leaves, you can harvest the roots, dry them. They are a great alternative for coffee mixed with chicory and a couple other good things. But I love to take the flowers, bread them, put them in egg whites and eggs, bread them and fry them up in a non-GMO organic oil. You've got your coconut oils, your avocado oils. They're amazing. They taste so good. I like to take the greens and make hot bacon dressing. You can find the recipe for that on our website, trayerwilderness.com. They are so medicinal, so useful. I like making salve out of the dandelion as well with an infusion, and then create salves and balms with those as well. Right here is yarrow. This is so useful and is really good at keeping the mosquitoes away. You need to look these things up. You need to be researching what is in your own backyard. Now, these are the nasty, ugly things that prevent me from going barefooted. Oh my gosh, Miss Carol is in the house. Carol, we haven't seen you in months. I'm so excited. And I think Mill's in the house too. I'll jump back on then. I'm pulling all of these out. I'm going through and I am getting rid of all the nasty, ugly weeds that I don't want reproducing so that I can then mow and burn those, but not have to worry about them coming back. And I'm getting them out by the roots. So you can see I started there getting some of this stuff out of here. And this right here is pineapple plant. This has a very similar taste and smell to chamomile and chamomile, however you say that. And it is amazing. That grows in my backyard. Now, Mr. Keith is in the house. Gosh, you guys are like pouring in. I love it. I want to show you something else. In my graveyard here, I know that's the joke, but these just look like tombstones to me. I can't wait till they are covered. But here we go. Look at this. There's a wee little one. And here is another one. Morel mushrooms, my own private stash patch. Don't you step on that. There we go. Those will get foraged today. So you need to be out foraging from your yards and being aware of what is in your yards and in your surroundings, because there's so much that we can utilize right in our own backyards. So I want to encourage you guys to be active. I want to encourage you guys to be resourceful. I want to encourage you guys to do things now. Don't keep putting it off. Don't be depressed. Don't be rocking in a corner. Don't be discouraged by our current happenings. Be active. Be doing things. I want to show you some more things. I'm going to pop inside. Come on, dogs. Copper. Come on. Like I said, I wanted to get stuff done out here because the sun's coming out now, but there were big black clouds, and they still are. They're right behind me there. So let me get in here. Let me show you some other things I've got going on. But before I do that, I want to see who all is on here. Let me see. All right. Yeah, you're going to have to listen to the clicking of the thumb because I don't have the other piece of equipment at the moment. Yeah, Tammy, I have no idea how that was repeating me. That was really strange. It was almost like I had two windows open or something. I don't know what that was. All right, so we got Rhonda, Tammy, Miss Carol. I am so glad you are in the house, sister. We haven't seen you for forever. And hi, Bridger. This time I'll say hi with my face showing on the camera. Grow bags work wonders. They can be moved into or out of the sun as needed, exactly, and move wherever you need to. It's just they're so amazing. And thank you, Miss Jane, for sharing your trough and those grow bags with me. Such a huge benefit, and there's so much we can do. We have a section that of good soil that we are planting some of our root crops, potatoes and things like that in. The grow bags are going to house everything else that I want to grow right now, and we are working on getting the bigger greenhouse in. But in the meantime, I'm not going to waste time. I need things growing. I want to grow enough to be able to can at least my salsa this year and maybe some tomato sauces, but those are something that we use a lot of, and I really want to concentrate on that. So onions, peppers, tomatoes, celery, all those good things are going to be growing in grow bags. So Rhonda says, Tammy, to increase your growing space, could you take the grow bags out of the trough and use it as an additional bed? I could definitely do that, yes. One of the things I liked about that is that it's self-watering, if the way it's set up, so that works out really well with some of the certain crops I want to put in there. So I haven't decided yet what I want to do there. I also have other things that I can plant things in. Oh, I forgot to show you also, I have the stackables out there as well, the green giants and the green stalks that are out there that I can layer different things. I'll put my lettuces and different things in that. Sorry, my finger's all over the screen. Miss Mill is in the house. She says, hello, ladies, not staying, just jumping in to say hello. Love y'all. Love you too, lady. Laura says, I'm going to have the grandkids pick dandelion flowers and leaves so I can feed them back to the kids for breakfast. Lol, that's funny. That's very funny. They are so nutritious, though, and so good for us, and I like to be able to forage as much of them as I can this time of year and then dry them so I have them for later for use. They are a great diuretic, great in helping detox the system. Mr. Keith says, greetings from New Zealand. Harvesting olive tree leaves for drying and seed saving at the moment. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. I've missed you. Let's see here. Carol says, I finally got my Savoy cabbage and cauliflowers in finally, and my spuds and onions doing okay. Awesome. Yeah, Carol's got a great little garden space this year. So I want to show you a couple other things. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but let's try it. Being solo here and the cameraman, let's see if I can do it like such without losing the camera. Let's see. Because I didn't want to use the big tripod at the moment because it's hard to show you things. Let's see. There we go. That'll work. Okay. So these handy dandy little things that we're all familiar with are really great to plant seeds in. The nice thing with using a paper egg carton is that you can plant your seed starters in here, cut them up, and plant them right in the ground when you're ready to. The nice thing with these as well is that I also keep a lot of the plastic ones. I don't like plastic, honestly. I hate plastic. But if I want to be able to water them in my house and keep them in my house, I can put them in the plastic ones so that I have a means of catching the moisture. You can also use these for little mini greenhouses just as they are, which is a great way for seed starting if you are limited. I have some grow lights. They will These particular ones do not pull a lot of power, but typically grow lights do pull a lot of power. So being able to set something like this on the windowsill to get natural light is a huge blessing in my circumstances. So this is how I am going to be starting my seeds. You can also use all these little salad containers to also create little mini greenhouses to start seeds. These are really great for starting seeds too. They have drainage on them, so you're going to want to put them, you know, these lids, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But these are ways that you can get your seeds started if you don't and aren't able to use grow lights, if you aren't able to start your seeds in a greenhouse. Don't let that stop you. We truly need to take our lives into our own hands right now. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We're going to switch gears and talk about that in a second. Organizing your seeds is another really important aspect of things. For me anyway, I want to know what I have. I want to have an inventory of what I have. These are items to organize your photos, but they are a great tool to organize your seeds. Where you would normally put your photos, you can easily organize seed packets. My Walla Walla seeds. Actually, those are not the Walla Wallas, but the Walla Wallas are in here. I love Walla Walla onions. They are amazing. Also, check out my friends at Seeds for Generations, TrayerWilderness.com/SFG. Family-run business. Kids help run the seed business. Amazing family. Check out their seeds. I just ordered, I'm like super stoked that I was able to get the seeds I wanted and put in a big seed order this morning. That was my panic. And then I shouldn't say panic, but that was a big and very important purchase for me. And things, as you know, are getting harder to find, harder to get your hands on. And we need to do our best to get the things we need right now, if we can. This is another unit. I am not going to open this thing up. I shared this in other videos. This is a solar dehydrator. This thing is great. The reason I'm not going to open it up is it's like one of those little kids play things, and it is like nestled in here and wrapped, and when you open it, it just goes poof, and everything in here will go flying because I live in a small space. But I'm pretty sure if you go to TrayerWilderness.com/solar dehydrator, you will find the link to this. And if you go to TrayerWilderness.com/seed organizer, you will locate this if you are in need. These are great things to have, great ways to organize, great ways to dehydrate. For me, I cannot run a regular dehydrator. I have a, I totally went blank on the name, but I have an electric dehydrator. It keeps coming in and out. I'll think of it later. One of you guys will chime in and put it in the chat for me. But having those things, having them on hand, having them ready to go, and having things that don't require electric, I think is extremely important right now. Backup tools. You've heard me talk. Thank you, Excalibur. TrayerWilderness.com/Excalibur will take you there. And oh, I know there was something else I wanted to share with you. I can share that anyway. Ooh, hang on. All right. So let me get you guys up on the other screen so that I don't keep hitting the screen here, because I have a bunch I want to share with you guys today. While I do that, how are you guys? How can I be praying for you? What do you have going on? Share in the comments so that this isn't all one-sided, because that's no fun. That's no fun. All right. Yeah. It's so much nicer when I can see what's going on the other screen. There we go. Okay.
Stop gaming in 2000.
So much for no volume. I don't have time to game. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, let's see here. Yeah, Tammy was here with me. Good morning, Miss Shannon. Tammy was here with me when I was using the solar dehydrator. She paid a visit last year, and she and I cut up some yellow squash, and we're dehydrating that, and it is massive, and it gets heavy. It gets heavy. It almost took me for a ride because I had it hanging here on the bar in the house, and then I went outside and we hung it on the wash line and had to prop it up good. It holds a lot, and it is amazing. It is great to be able to dehydrate all of my dandelions. I also have, my brain is not working today. I had an allergic reaction to a supplement I took last night, so I am very inflamed, and it is affecting the P. It is not working. The brain is not working today, so forgive me. Nettle. I have a huge patch of stinging nettle, so I want to get out and get that as well and get that dehydrating and drying nicely. So being able to naturally dry things is really good, and it is nice because it's mesh, so it protects whatever you're drying from insects and things like that. So it's really, I really like it, and it's very inexpensive. That one came with 2 sets of shears to cut your herbs, so makes it super handy. It was good seeing you all. We are taking the little boys for a walk, so I have to run. God bless. God bless you too. See you, boys. Have a good walk. All right, so the important thing is that we need to be active right now. I'm on here today because I know that there are people out there that need to hear this message. You've heard me saying for years and years that you cannot be fully self-reliant if you do not have God in that equation. God needs to be first. And right now, I don't even think the word self-reliant should be part of our vocabulary, because right now we need to be God reliant. No matter which way you look right now, there's stuff going on. I know you're all feeling it. We've got shortages of baby formula. We've got shortages on fuel. Everything is excelling rapidly in price. Things are becoming unavailable. Things are hard to get a hold of. But at the same time, things don't make sense. Walmart may not have eggs on their shelf, but their provider of eggs has such an abundance of eggs that they don't know what to do with them. The stuff doesn't make sense. It hasn't made sense for 3 years now. And to try to make sense of it is senseless, because it'll just put you in a corner rocking. What we need to do, and what I've been specifying for the last 3 years, is we need to be active. We need to be meeting God and putting our efforts forth. And we need to be God reliant, because there hits a point where, like I said in the very beginning, we may not have enough time, but we have the money, or we might not have enough money, but we have the time. That's a normal scenario. Now, though, there's so much more added to those equations, so much more to think about. Okay, the gas is going up. It's going up so rapidly, you know, I can't afford the gas. Will I be able to afford to go to work to make the money to afford the gas? What if I have all this money and I can't purchase the things I need? There isn't stuff on the shelves. What if? We have to get our minds out of that place and just focus on what we are able to do and what we are able to accomplish, and fully and totally and 100% put our trust in God. And that is not an easy thing, but you guys have heard me speaking that for so many years. And I know that that message needed to be heard by somebody today. It is alarming to see all that is going on. However, I am praising God in such amazing ways. And there's just so many amazing things happening right now. Okay, I'm seeing people purchasing their chicks. I'm seeing people purchasing meat birds. I'm seeing people getting milk cows. I was in the city last week one day, and I was in the center of the city, which really surprised me. I was in Spokane, Washington, and I couldn't believe my eyes, nor could Copper, because she was like honed in on the movement right away. There were chickens in somebody's backyard. We're talking like city block where all the houses are nestled together, and the back of one house is the back of the next house. And everybody had their fences up, and one yard had chickens, the next yard had goats, and the next yard down had hoop houses all over the yard. That made me so happy. That made me so happy, because people are making an effort. People are starting to act, and it's not too late. If you have been hovering in a corner or not sure what to do, act now, because you need to just do the best you can for yourselves right now. Grow whatever you can. If that's just a grow bag full of tomatoes, do that. I also have sprouters. You know, if I couldn't grow something, as long as I could grow sprouts, that would at least give us nutrition besides the meat that we would be harvesting from our area. It's not just our food, it's everything. It's everything. So, and I know you guys are paying attention to it. I know you guys are pricing it. There's a lot going on, though. The other thing that's really concerning to me is that they keep our eyes on certain things and keep our attention on certain things while other things are happening over here. So I know that many people tend to avoid what is going on right now. I know there's a huge portion of our population that has no idea that there's even stuff happening in the Ukraine and Iraq and overseas. But we can't worry about all that stuff. And one of the other things I was going to show you is my hummingbird feeders. I have hummingbirds coming in already despite our crazy weather. I have little yellow finches coming in to my window in the kitchen because I have a little bird seed feeder out there hanging on a hook that the mountain man made. So when I'm at the kitchen sink, I can see the little finches coming in. And they come in and they just sit there. They don't fly away when I'm there. And I was hanging wash, and they were just hanging out with me. And I was talking to them, and they weren't flying away. That to me is just a simple pleasure in my yard. And I saw it said somewhere today that make your wilderness your Eden. And man, that hit home. I showed you my grass. It's knee deep. It's going to be interesting. But the best thing is I weed whack because our ground is so uneven right now. I would absolutely destroy a mower blade because we don't have anything groomed yet because of our building and everything. So I just have to get out and weed whack. But I want to make my wilderness my Eden. I want to still have my simple pleasures, even through, you know, the need to really kick up my game and be prepared. So I've made my hummingbird juice, and I have my hummingbird feeders filled. You can make your own. It's a half a cup of sugar and 2 cups of water. Will replace what you buy in the store. You can make your own. And you can make your own hummingbird feeders, which I will be doing and sharing with you guys upcoming as well. But I still want to have the simple pleasures in my life and in my day-to-day. And I want to enjoy my life. God wants us to enjoy our lives despite what goes on around us, because in doing so, we are sharing with him that we are comfortable and trusting, and our eyes are focused on him. And trust me, guys, God will bless us. God will take care of us. So let me see here. Shannon says, I love that. Make your wilderness your Eden. I know. I saw that today, and I was like, sweet. That is just so, that's so me. And it literally, I mean, figuratively and literally for me is true. So I know, I love that. I figured you would enjoy that. Carol says that saying should be a t-shirt. There we go. Maybe I will, that might be the first Trayer Wilderness t-shirt. There we go. Good idea. Good idea. I'm going to work on that this afternoon. Shannon says she agrees. I think that that is just such a perfect saying and a perfect thing for us to focus on and put in place right now, because we don't need to just focus on the panic. We need to focus on the simple pleasures in our lives too. And we don't have to be in a panic. I have lists. I have lists of things that I feel we need, and when the funding is available, I purchase them. Otherwise, they're on the list. I don't panic because I can't change my circumstances. It's raining, it's ugly. I can get outside for a few minutes, then I got to be back inside for a little bit, then I can be. So I do that. And those are my breaks throughout the day. Those are my divine breaks to step away from the box, the computer, the screens, and be able to do the things that need to get done. A simple pleasure, hanging my wash. Miss Tammy just left, but I know it's one of her greatest simple pleasures too. There is something very euphoric in hanging wash. And yes, I know most people will shake their heads at that because many of you use a dryer. But when you hang your wash out and you've got an eagle clicking above you, they make a really unique sound. We've got Edward, the eagle, floating around. I think Ethel's here too. I think they have a nest. But I'm hanging my wash. I can hear the eagle. He's right above me. There's ravens. There's a little yellow finches. My feet are on the wholesome ground. It is just refreshing. It is refreshing to be out and hang the wash. I hung my wash yesterday. It hung out for about a half an hour. It was breezy. It was sunny. And I had a quick run out because the black cloud came and it rained. So it's really funny, but it's working and I'm working with it. And, I could be depressed. I could be bummed out. And after 2 months of rain, pretty much with this kind of weird weather, it does get old, but I'm still in my wilderness and I still have the ability to create my own Eden. So Keith says, just harvested some pumpkins with shells so hard. Had to use a sharp axe to cut. Bright red flesh, best taste ever. Oh, that's awesome. What kind of pumpkin, Keith? I just ordered my seeds and I got some of the apple cucumbers. Rhonda says, I love hanging my clothes outside and I don't have an eagle. Right. It is just so refreshing though. It's so refreshing. And my grass is an eyesore. I like when my place looks groomed and it looks nice, but it is what it is. But I'm praising God that the grass is so beautiful and green. And it's really funny. The mountain boy and I have been walking every day. Part of something else I want to challenge you to do is not just being active in doing things, but be active in your self-care and your physical activity, because we don't know what's ahead. And the more we keep ourselves in good shape, the better off we'll be, the healthier we'll be. So we're out walking and there's some areas where there's just some unique grass. It looks like decorative grass that people would probably spend a ton of money to put around their pool. It grows naturally out here. And it just is this I don't even know how to describe the color. It's kind of like a fluorescent green with a deep forest green in it. It's just very pretty. It's very eye-catching. And it's really funny because I don't know what it is, but the mountain boy and I are both drawn to it. It just is really appealing to us both. And it just gives us a really nice smile when we're walking through that area. So, getting out and walking. I was gifted a Bowflex. It's sitting behind my house wrapped in a tarp, so that it's protected from the weather. But when it's sunny, it's uncovered. I want to take care of myself. I want to re-strengthen myself. I want to be fit. I want to be in the best shape I've ever been at 52. I want to be prepared. I want to be ready for whatever comes my way, whether that means I'm building another house or a greenhouse or a guest cabin, or I'm hitting the woods, whatever the case may be, whatever comes my way. So you guys are chatting together. Laura says, last year I picked up 3 small solar fountains on a lightning sale. I'm hoping to set them up in the garden with resting areas so I can stop before the pain is overwhelming. Amen. And sit there and just enjoy that sound. I mean, the mountain man says I have this place lit up at night. I've got solar lights all over the place. When we buried Rambler out on the ridge out there, I put lights on the tree next to him. Those lights go on even when it's gray. It's so funny. He's constantly on at night, and I love that. That's just it makes me smile. You know, it's my reminder of how blessed we were by such a great dog. My fire pit is lit up. I've got lights out there. I've got lights on several trees, and they're all solar lights. They were inexpensive. They give me great pleasure. They make me smile. It's just comforting. I have a sitting area out there. I try not to have too many lights right there because I don't want it to mute the stars, because the stars out here are amazing. And that in and of itself is just really my resting place. So Laura, that is awesome. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff we need to be doing. Rhonda says, sounds intriguing, Keith. Yes. Yes, he's always doing unique things. And olive leaves that he's dehydrating are really good for us ladies. And I'm sure, oh, wait a minute. Okay, it jumped really fast here. These are ancient variety I salvaged from an old abandoned farm. Oh, nice. Too bad we're not close. I'd love to get some seeds. Laura says to Keith, I have some spaghetti squash almost that hard of skin. Hubby has to split them for me. That's funny. I've had some of those too. The spaghetti squash get really hard. Miss Shelley made it. All right. Awesome. I was at work, but they had canceled my shift, so I'm home early. Well, there you go. It worked out. So God has purpose in everything that happens on this earth. I want to remind you something else. This is all stuff I've been telling you for the last 3 years, but we're going to lump it all together today. You have a testimony. Each and every one of you has a testimony. God brought you through a test. He worked miracles. He used you, and he was glorified. If you're not sharing your testimony with people right now, you're missing a huge opportunity, because for starters, 1, you may be the only person in that person's life that mentions the word Jesus, because Jesus brought you through that test and gave you that testimony. 2, through you, they realize that miracles are still happening on this earth today. They are. Every day, miracles are happening on this earth through us. But if we are afraid to share our testimony and we are afraid to speak up, we are robbing ourselves and others of that joy. Share your testimony. Be a light right now. We need more people joining the kingdom of God. Shelley says, I just dehydrated the rest of my kale and also some of the celery that I was growing. Awesome. Miss Jane is in the house. Good morning, Miss Jane. Jane blessed us so greatly with her move to Ecuador. I just feel so tremendously blessed. Jane, I don't know if it's okay to share all that you blessed us with. And if so, I will share some today, but the one big one I'm going to save, because I think I'm going to do a couple lives here and there from some unique places, because I have the privilege to do that now. So Jane, you have to share that with me. I did share your trough and the grow bags. But God is present, guys. God is acting. God is alive. God is moving. Don't question that. And the more we learn to trust him, the easier this experience is going to be. It's not going to remove the experience. It's not going to make it any easier per se, but there's a great comfort and peace that comes with knowing that God is in our lives and he is there and he is going to protect us. That is huge. Excuse me, that is super huge. And like I said, so many people do not realize that God is ever present and constantly moving. So please, please, please be willing to share, be willing to speak up, be willing to be a light. People need to hear, I'm trying to open something and it is fighting. People need to hear positive encouragement right now. I know you guys are here probably because you needed to hear that yourselves. And oh my goodness, my machine is just like blowing up. Okay. Oh, and I have something really awesome to share with you guys today. Okay, why did that not end up in my photos? Ah, there it is. Okay. Wait till you hear today's devotional. I haven't looked in that devotional for a while because I've been actually reading the Bible. But this is, when I share today's devotional with you guys, you're going to be like, whoa. Okay, so Keith says, yes, Laura, the hard shells make them good keepers and they last over a year if you store them so they don't touch each other. Yep. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Jane says, it all started years ago when I found Tammy's video on lymph node draining. We all need each other. We do all need each other. And, you know, I keep getting confirmation of that in our community, of people sharing how encouraging it is for them and how they feel blessed in finding the community. So if you are watching this and you are not part of our community, you're watching the replay, you're hiding in the background, join our community, TrayerWilderness.com/community. You won't be disappointed. It is such an amazing, loving group of people, and it is a safe haven where you can share your mind, your prayers, your needs, your ideas, your whatever you got going on. It's open to everybody. All right. Shelly says, it's too cool here to put anything out in the garden. So on Sunday, I was looking at ways to help to make hoop greenhouses for my raised bed. A friend had a gazebo frame that he gifted us. We used plastic. Yeah, I saw that this morning. That's just fantastic. I shared that earlier. Hey, makeshift or not, I showed our greenhouse out back, and it's made of scrap wood. It's nothing pretty. It's nothing special, but what it will produce is the important thing. And that's the kind of stuff we need to be doing. We need to, I just shared it a little bit ago. We need to make our wilderness our Eden. And, you know, right now, the world is the wilderness. It's like Moses taking the Israelites from Egypt into the wilderness. You know, it's a wild ride. There is so much going on and so much chaos, but there's never a time where there can't be peace in our chaos. I promise you that. When you have a relationship with Jesus, there is peace found in that place. Let me see here. Shelley says, I just hope that the company that owns the property does not complain. It is only temporary. Yep, just keep working at it, sister, and just keep setting things up. Make it look as pretty as you can. And maybe share some of the bounty with the people that run the property, and maybe they won't say anything. They're not going to say anything anyway. Tara says, hi, not a homesteader, live in Phoenix, and a truck driver, found you through WFR Church. I was going to say, your face looks so familiar, your little emoji. I'm like, where do I know her from? Welcome. I'm so glad you came. That's awesome. And you don't have to be a homesteader. You just need to be human. We love on everybody, and there's a lot to take away from these events, whether through me or through the chat. It's amazing. So welcome. Glad to have you. Awesome. That makes my day. And I see you guys all loving on Tara, so thank you very much. Miss Carol, thank you, Miss Carol. She says, hit the like button, guys. Yes, please help us. We are growing. Miss Shannon has been helping me behind the scenes with some things, and that has been helping also. And we've got lots to share. There's just been lots going on. I got our membership live on our academy at TrayerWildernessAcademy.com. And then we had Easter, and then I trained for a week and have been working on my certification, which I will share in a second. And then we had Mama and Papa T here for 2 weeks. That was awesome. It rained the whole time, so I felt terrible that we were all scrunched in here and didn't get a chance to go do a whole lot of anything, but we had a really good time. Played lots of games, and we all took turns beating each other's butts, playing cards and dice and stuff. So it was good. It was a good time. And now I've been catching back up, and just it's been wild and crazy. So, and I'm sure your lives are all the same. Based on hearing from many of you, we're all in a crazy place right now. I love that, Shelly. She says, hi, Tara. Welcome to the gang. I love it. Mountain Ben always says, when we add a new member to the homestead, whether it's a dog or a person or whatever, he says, part of the ship, part of the crew, which is from Pirates of the Caribbean. But that's just funny. It kind of stuck. So part of the ship, part of the crew. Tara says, we have prepped as much as we can, have solar panels, and have family that raises cows, so I buy a side of beef. The solar panels help with the freezer, etc. Awesome. And you know what? That's all we can do. That's what I'm talking about today. Do what you can do. That's the most important thing in this whole conversation is right now, do what you can do and turn your wilderness into your Eden. Make your space, your home, your family, your comfort spot. Make them feel comfortable with what is going on. Make your family a part of this. If there's young kids involved, get them involved. I saw Miss Shannon posted a picture on her Instagram with her son. They were out foraging morels and mushrooms and things. You know, kids want to be involved, and the more we teach our kids life skills, the better off they will be moving forward, regardless what unfolds, what things look like. We don't know that, and we can't sit here anticipating something we have no idea, you know, what's going to happen. Plus, as it says in the Bible, we need to focus on today and not worry about tomorrow, right? And there's a reason for that. There's meaning for that. And there's a great peace in that, because we don't have to worry about tomorrow because God's got us covered. The God Reliance came through a sermon at WFR on Sunday. Sam preached from Africa and was talking about God reliance. And I'm like, that is just so amazing. And like I said, I've always been saying that we cannot be fully self-reliant if God is not walking in the front of us, leading the way, and we are seeking him for the path, direction, and anything we're doing. And, you know, I think we progressed to a place of just removing self-reliance from that equation and just seeking God reliance. We truly need to. We can't be worrying about things we can't control. We need to be aware of them. We need to be active. Those are the things God calls us to do. We need to be of good cheer. And in doing so, we can create our Eden out of the wilderness that we are walking out right now. So, and I take that figuratively and literally right now because I live in the wilderness. Tara says, I am a terrible gardener, though. My tomatoes always look weird. That's okay. Just keep going. Keep trying. If that's the case, I'm a weird gardener, too, and I'm right there with you because my plants don't always look like they're supposed to either. But the more we keep trying and the more we keep learning, the more we will perfect that. I am not a master gardener. There are a couple here that are probably close. But we're all always still learning. There's something always left to learn, and there's a lot of people to learn from. So I would encourage you to join our community, Tara, because there are so many people you can, just pop a question in there and you will get a lot of people hoarding and answering. They'll just love on you and get you the answers you need. There's just so much. There's so much to do, so much to learn. But we can glean off of each other. The other thing that I want to point out is having connections with other people. People you trust. That's important. But local people that you can trust that can maybe, Miss Tammy, who popped off of here to go for the walk with her boys. She knows how to sew. She's a very good seamstress. She can sew for the local people. There's lots of, I love to barter. Right now is a perfect time that we should be bartering and bartering services, bartering, pumpkins for flour, whatever. But being able to have an active community locally that you can do that with. If you don't, that's okay. But those are some things to think about too. Having plans in place, if things do go south, what will you do? How will you do things? Having that plan takes a lot of anxiety out of the way. It's okay, stop. Having a plan makes you more comfortable and helps you to feel like you've got it a little bit together. And that's important. You know, having plans can really relieve anxiety and stress. Let me see here. Rhonda says, yes, Tara, do what you can with what you have where you are. Amen. Amen. You know, we don't need to have extravagance right now. As a matter of fact, I showed you what I plant my seeds in. I'm not going to go spend hundreds of dollars on trays that I can plant my seeds in when I could be investing that money in food or fuel or ammo or anything else. You know, we got to think on those lines. I am frugal minded, big time. So that's my nature, but a lot of people don't think that way. You learn to think that way and you can be frugal in one area and be able to spend in another where you need to. I mean, okay, here's another example of a twofold, maybe even threefold thing. Make your own cards. I did this yesterday. I need to send something out. I made my own card. It enabled me to do something I love doing and be a little creative, do something that I like to do. This was watercolor and black ink. And I didn't go and spend $6 on a card. The paper's cheap and it's half of a sheet of paper folded in half. I buy cheap envelopes and you can make your own card. I mean, it's just stuff like that. But again, that's another form of my Eden in my wilderness. I'm doing things that I love to do in the midst of the chaos. And it is chaotic because I've got a to-do list 4 miles long, but I'm not stressing over it and I'm not panicking over it. I'm doing one thing at a time, where I'm at, what I can, as I can. And when you learn to just do that and not have the anxiety and the stress behind it, and that takes practice, that also takes a relationship with God. So exactly. And Shannon says, same here, Tara. I am great at killing plants, but I am trying a garden nonetheless. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? We just got to keep showing up. Just got to keep showing up. Shelly says, yes, Tara, we will have our limitations due to where we live. I am in a trailer park and only have 3 raised beds to grow in, plus some pots with herbs. Yep. And weather, you know, everybody's in different locations. Phoenix is probably extremely hot right now. I know Texas is very hot. We've had such weird weather. It'll be 63 in the afternoon, and as soon as the sun starts heading down, it's like in the 40s, 30s. It really drops fast. So, and we've had frost. So, you know, you've got to work with where you're at and do the best you can and just keep showing up and just keep trying and just keep learning. That's the key thing. Laura says, I'm learning that great gardeners have good looking gardens because they grow lots of extras to replace those that don't bloom well. Exactly. Exactly. So they might make it look good, but they're still in the same boat. So Shelley says, I'm working hard at reading the Bible. I have never read it completely. The days that I do have time to read, I'm so much more at peace. I need to make it daily, but it is a process. Yes, exactly. And you will find that. Plus, the deeper you pull into God and the deeper that relationship, the more communication you have. So you say, what is that? What do you mean communication? God talks to you? Yeah, he does. In the still quiet moments when I am doing senseless things like washing dishes or going for a walk or seeking him intentionally, I'll take a break at the fire pit. I'll take a break on the couch, read the Bible, pull into him. And, you know, I ask him questions and I get answers. You do hear that still small voice. If you don't hear the still small voice, he will guide you. You'll get confirmation. Perfect example. Jane blessed us with something tremendous. And it was so tremendous. God knows the desires of our heart, even if we're not asking for them, because this was not something that I would have asked for during this time. This is not something I could have afforded otherwise had it not been presented to us the way it was. But I still prayed. It was a tremendous blessing. It was a tremendous gift. But I prayed to God and I said, if it is not for us, please make it fall apart. It did not fall apart. However, I've asked for other things in the same notion because God will make it fall apart. And he made it fall apart. It just totally crumbled right in front of my eyes. Was I devastated? Was I upset? No. And if it would have crumbled with what Jane gifted us with, I wouldn't have been upset either, because I asked him and I wanted to know that I was following his will, his guidance, and his desires for me, not mine. And when you do that, God will make it so clear whether you are on the right path, whether you are being taunted by the enemy with some kind of little dangly carrot in front of your eyes. You know, he's really good at that. But I want to know that I'm on the right path, that I'm seeking God, that I am focused on God and not of the world. So that is how I do that. And I just ask him to make things crumble. But seeking God is so important. Reading his word is so important. And if you don't understand the King James, get another version, the NLT, the HCSB, the NIV. The message is real modern. But the point is that you understand it. And you can always, before opening the Bible, pray that God will help you to understand what you are reading, and to understand so that you, and for him to guide you, because oftentimes he'll guide me to the exact words I need to hear for the day. So I think it's really funny that this morning I found the Turn Your Wilderness into Your Eden. And today's devotional is like so in line with the God reliance and the things I'm talking about. Which I will read in a few seconds here. I want to read the rest of the comments. Shelley says, my sister and family are coming for a visit this summer. I have told her to have space to take back their Christmas gifts, which have been ready for months. You're insane, girl, but that's awesome. That's awesome. I've actually been knitting. I almost have my dishcloth done, and I'll be working on socks again, and I have to stitch my new moccasins. So I am making it a point to do the things that I desire and I love to do, but that are also helping me get ahead. So Miss Shelley knits and does amazing gifts. So that'll save you on postage, and also on the anxiety, because you don't have to worry about rushing at Christmas time. You go, girl. Tara says, I watched the Duck Commander show yesterday on how to spread the gospel. So I tried today with spam text messages I get. So being with like-minded believers will help me polish that message. Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I love that. That is perfect. That is perfect. And that is a great way to practice. There you go, guys. You want to learn how to share your testimony? Tara just clued you in on the best way to do that. Use all those spam texts and all those spam calls to polish your testimony before you share it with somebody so you feel comfortable. That is awesome. I love that. Jane says toilet paper tubes. Yep. Cut in half, fold the bottoms in wonderful seed starters, and you can pop the whole thing in the ground. Yes. They're also good fire starters. Yes. Toilet paper rolls do not go to waste here. Absolutely not. Keith says, I've been gardening for 50 years and every season is different, and something fails one year but flourishes the next. The trick is to stay alive to enjoy it all. I love that. That one is, Keith, can I have your permission to put that in something? Because I love that. That's a good quote from you. That is awesome. That is awesome. See, Keith keeps showing up. And he's going to keep showing up because we need him, because he is a source of extreme knowledge. Yes, Jane says, Keith, you are so right. Shannon says, the kiddos are waking up now, so I have to go, but it was so good to spend this time together. God bless everyone. Love you, lady. Have a fabulous day. We have to catch up. Let me know when you have some spare time. That's a hard one, right? For both of us. Carol says, gotta go, guys. I'll take care. Lots of love, hugs, and prayers to you all. We'll catch up on Messenger, Tammy. Love you guys. Love you too. Laura says, my phone is in need of the charger. Love you all. Have a blessed day. All right, before anybody else bops off of here, I want to share this real quick, and then I will jump off as well. John 16:33, be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Love you, Miss Jane. In the mid-'80s, Stephen Patrick Morrissey, better known as Moz, dominated the British rock charts. Known for his melancholy as much as for his music, Morrissey's songs were predominantly depressive themes. They dwelled on fractured relationships, lonely nightclubs, and the hopeless weight of the past. In short, Morrissey was a singer who lived a cheerless life in a minor key. How different from the life of Jesus called his followers to live. On 3 different occasions, Jesus encouraged his disciples to be of good cheer. Bible teacher Philip D. Corsi calls them the three cheers of the New Testament. The first reason to be cheerful is because your sins are forgiven and forgotten in Christ. That's Matthew 9:2. Because of Calvary, your faults and failings will never be used in judgment against you. That's John 5:24. Second reason to be cheerful is because we're not fighting for victory, but from the vantage point of victory. In the world you will have tribulations, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. John 16:33. And the third reason to cheer is because Jesus will be with you no matter what life throws at you or who comes against you. Like the terrified disciples on board a storm-tossed boat, he will be there when you need him. You have his word on it. They were troubled, but immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I, do not be afraid. Matthew 14:26-27. Peace isn't the absence of storms. It's knowing Christ is with us and knowing we will be able to separate us, that nothing will be able to separate us from the love of God in Christ Jesus our Lord. And that is Romans 8:39. So very true, guys. And we need to absolutely remember that God is with us. God will not leave us or forsake us. And as it says in the Bible, and I want you guys to really hone in on Psalms 91. You can read that today. And also Psalms 23. Psalms 23 is just so powerful. But one of the things is verse 4 that I really want to point out to you. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You know, guys, he's always with us. He says, fear not in the Bible, I think 365 times, if I'm not mistaken. And his promises are real. He's there for us. He is wanting us to take comfort in him. Oftentimes, you know, we go through these really rough times, and it should be the times when we should be pulling in to him. But our hearts are hardened, and we need to be softened. We need to realize that through those hard times, he is present. We are living in a fallen world, and there's a lot of evil in our world. God doesn't create the evil. God might allow things to happen sometimes, but he will be glorified through it, and he will transform you through that. He uses those experiences to mold us into his image. And I've been through a lot, and I would never ask for any of that to be changed, because it made me who I am. I am fearless. I am truly fearless. I do not experience fear, worry, and anxiety, but that's only because I've pursued him, and he's kindly removed that from me. I share that with you so that you seek him, so that you can find the place that I'm in. I also want to share something with you guys today. Next Tuesday, the 31st, I am holding a group session. I shared that I started something new. I have stepped into something that has been so awe-inspiring and so amazing to me. I never imagined how fulfilling this would be, and I didn't step into it entirely with the intention of fully helping other people the way I am. I stepped into it for my healing. God led me to a woman named Kimberly, who has trained me in breath work. And I am utilizing the breath work to heal my body entirely. And I have been working with people for the last 3 weeks and helping them to heal their bodies. Now, not only am I helping them to heal, but I'm helping them to relax. I'm helping them to detox their bodies. When we breathe, and actually breathe, most of the time we hold our breath 80% of the time. And we take our breath for granted until we can't breathe. So I have started doing breath work to help people remove the anxiety from their lives right now, to teach them how to relax, to teach them how to be well and better equipped in preparedness situations, to teach them a life skill and also a healing skill that will carry through and be usable in their lives for forever. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, you can go to breathetohealing.com group session, and you can join me next Tuesday and experience this for yourself. It's an hour-long session. It's amazing, and I know it will benefit you greatly. It has been benefiting me and everyone that I have touched, and I am just so blessed and thankful and praising God that he led me to it. So you can check that out. All right, Miss Rhonda jumped off, and have a wonderful day, my dear. I hope I didn't miss you. Keith says, how is the well drilling going? Well, we got down a good bit, and it went well, and we hit rock. So we've been praying over the hole and haven't been able to get back at it because of our weather. So the mountain man also needs to redo the piece we were using for the drilling. He had made teeth on the bottom of a steel pipe, and he needs to create those teeth again, and we will commence and continue on. I will share that process with you guys, but we did hit rock. We don't know if it's a rock shelf or if it's just rocks in the way. We're not sure yet. So we have to continue progressing with that. So I will fill you in more on that as we go, but thank you for asking. Wish you were closer. I know you are handy with rocks. So, but I hope that this has been inspiring to you guys. I hope this kind of renewed you guys, maybe gave you some ideas on how you can do things, because we really need to be active now. Be active. Be creating an Eden in your wilderness, wherever that may be. Do whatever you can with what you have where you are. Be active, though. Be active. Be frugal in some areas and stocking up in others. You guys got this. Pull into God. Pull God into the equation. Be God reliant, and I promise you, good things will come. I promise you. It'll still be maybe a rough walk, but God will lead you through it, and he's done it before. He'll do it again. So, guys, I love you all. I want to wish you a good day. I'll be popping back on more often live, just to encourage. So I love you guys. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you on another one. God bless.